Hey everyone, welcome back to Overtime Insights. With the 2025 NHL Trade Deadline approaching on March 7th, several high-profile players are generating significant interest. Let's look at some players that are on the trading block and what trade packages could be acquired. Our first name is Mikko Rantanen, and yes, he was traded earlier to the Carolina Hurricanes, and his name has been swirling around because Carolina may feel that he will not sign a multi-year deal with them. So they rather get assets for him rather than letting him walk like they had Jake Guentzel. So the first team that could get him would be the Winnipeg Jets. The package could include a 2026 first-round pick, a right-wing runner McGorty, who's a prospect, and center Cole Perfetti. Another team to think about would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they could potentially offer a 2025 first-round pick, defenseman Tulpi Niemela, and center Fraser Minten. Another long shot team could be the Colorado Avalanche. They could offer Jonathan Drouin a 2025 first round pick and defenseman Mikhail Gulayev. But I don't think it will matter between those two teams. I think he'll end up with the Winnipeg Jets, who are aggressive buyers with cap flexibility and playoff urgency. Now to their next player, Brock Nelson, who is going to be a pending unrestricted free agent. His first team that he could consider him would be, again, Winnipeg Jets. Now, I mentioned before, with Mikko Rantanen, they would offer a 2026 first-round pick. For Brock Nelson, they'll offer him a 2025 first-round pick, center Chaz Lucius, and defenseman Elias Salomonsson. And Toronto Maple Leafs could enter the trade as well. Their trade would center around a 2025 second-round pick and center Fraser Minten. Another team to think about would be the Los Angeles Kings, a blockbuster possibly involving center Quentin Byfield and defenseman Brant Clark, but this would be unlikely due to the Kings' reluctance. So most likely, I think it would be the Winnipeg Jets getting him again. They're going to make a splash for all these potential free agents and players that are looking for a playoff push. And they have the flexibility to do that. Another name to think about is Rickard Rakell, who is with the Pittsburgh Penguins and is signed through 2027-2028 at $5 million a year. Now, because the Pittsburgh Penguins are struggling, they may look to deal him out. One team to think about is the Los Angeles Kings, dealing defenseman Jordan Spence and a 2026 second-round pick. Another team to think about would be the Minnesota Wild, potential return of center Marco Rossi and a 2025 third-round pick. The other team, Edmonton Oilers, in a salary retention swap for Dylan Holloway and a 2025 second-round pick. But most likely, if a trade were to occur for Rickard Rakell, I say he goes to the Los Angeles Kings, who's in need for a right-handed scoring winger prior to trade history with Penguins as well. Our next player, John Gibson, goalie for the Anaheim Ducks. He's signed through 2026-2027 at $6.4 million a year. One team that could consider him would be the Edmonton Oilers. They traded for a 2025 second-round pick and right winger Xavier Bourgault. Another team, Carolina Hurricanes, could package goalie Yaniv Peretz, who's a prospect, and 2025 third-round pick. Also, the Flyers could be a consideration, possible deal with Emil Andrade and a conditional 2026 pick. But most likely, if any of those trades were to be offered, I say they go with the Edmonton Oilers, who is desperate for goaltending stability and cap space via retention. And I think the final two players to be discussed in this episode, I go with Buffalo Sabres, Bowen Byram, and Dylan Cousins. I think they're going to have revived talks with the Detroit Red Wings, and there's going to be a huge trade package that will consist top prospects of the Detroit Red Wings and high draft picks. So I look out for that draft that could happen. So who else do you think that would be traded? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll have an episode about the trade deadline this Friday night. I'll see you next time in Overtime.